Lucy, Lucy, is red your color? Yeah? Oh, do we like it? Oh boy. I think you're gonna be Winnie-the-Pooh. Yeah. Grab your cozy drink of choice, because this is going to be a little bit more of a relaxed video as we get started on this sweater for Lucy. We're going to start off by casting on 80 stitches onto our knitting needles. Once all of our stitches are on our knitting needles, we're going to go ahead and join this in the round, and we're going to be using only knitted stitches. I want this sweater to kind of have an oversized look and a relaxed look, because I feel like that fits Winnie-the-Pooh's character really well, and also we got Lucy at an animal shelter in Hurricane, Utah. At the tail end of our honeymoon, we went to Zion's National Park and got rained out on our last day, and so we decided to go to the shelter, and we found Lucy. Lucy was so scared. She had just been fixed, and the whole car ride home she snuggled up against these boxes, but she quickly warmed up to me, and I became her person, and we've been together ever since. Getting back to this sweater really quick, so I just knitted a couple of rows and then I started my increases because Lucy is quite thick around the middle. This is also knitted from top down, so this is the part that's going to start going down her back and also down the front of her chest. We'll continue knitting these rows until it's about between 4 and 5 inches long, and then we're going to create the leg holes. Just like Winnie-the-Pooh, Lucy loves soft things. She loves to sleep and she loves to snuggle into blankets. She also is never in a hurry. She really helps me to remember to take time to stop and smell the roses and to enjoy my life instead of just rushing through it. Okay, so I've done several more rows, and kind of what I'm doing now is I went around a couple of times, and then when I came across where I wanted the leg holes, I bound off 16 stitches, and then I kept on, I believe it's 24 stitches, cast off another 16 stitches. And now I'm just working this section that's going to go across Lucy's back, our dog's back. And at the end of, or at the start and end of each row, I'm adding a stitch to make it bigger, because she's kind of narrow here in the front, and then she gets bigger and then narrow towards her down towards her bum. So I add a stitch here and then down all the way across onto this end. I add another stitch and then I do the same thing switching to this direction. So I'm just working back and forth like it's a flat panel. And I purl one side and then I knit one side to continue that stockinette stitch. And then after I get this to the point that I want it to be, so it's wide enough here and also so there's enough distance here for her leg, then I'm going to go ahead and pick up these 24 stitches and work them up in the same fashion, and then I'll join these back together, which I'll show you later. Are you so excited? Hi! Are you so happy? Happy, happy Lucy! Happy, happy Lucy! I know that dogs are just dogs, but I have to say that these two have just been angels in our lives, and we are just so grateful for them. As I'm sitting here editing, I have Lucy right next to me, and she's snoring just a little bit. Such a snuggle bug, and just loves to sleep and the soft things, all the soft things. Just like her mom. I have been finding that I have really been enjoying making these dog sweaters. I made 2 dog sweaters last year for Piper and Lucy, and this year I'm working on 2 more, but I think I'm just gonna keep continuing to make them. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite thing to make during the fall and winter is. Okay, so we increased our stitches, and the leg hole on this side is big enough that I want to go ahead and continue this part, which is going to be on the bottom of the dog. So this will go around Lucy, and then this will go underneath her. So I'm going to go ahead and start working these 24 stitches. Building them up. I'll probably add some on the edges too, just like I did on this top piece, just because she's quite the stocky dog, so she turns into a tank around her main section. So we'll add some stitches on the side, and we're going to increase this. I think I might increase it a little bit more than, or do more rows than I did on the top, just to get the shape that I'm looking for Lucy. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut off some of this string or some of this yarn, and we'll go ahead and we'll weave this piece of yarn into the work after we're done. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue knitting this back and forth just like normal with this string. So let's get to it. Okay, so I've knitted about 5 inches, which turns out to be about 35 rows or so. Each inch is about 7 rows, and then if you're counting across, each inch is about 4 stitches. So now what we're going to do is we're going to join this in the round. So we're going to knit across this just like regular, or just like normal, and then we're gonna add stitches right here, about 16, which is what we decreased or bound off earlier up here. And then we're gonna just knit around to here, add 16 more stitches, and then we're just gonna continue to knit our rows. Okay, now we've reached the end of the part that goes over the top of the dog. We're going to add on 16 more stitches. Lucy, are you all tucked in? Are you tucked in? You a good burrito? You're a good burrito. And And once we've added 16 more stitches, we're going to go right back into that first one and continue to knit. From here, we're just going to continue to knit until we feel like the sweater is long enough to come about halfway down Lucy's middle to mimic the Winnie-the-Pooh look. As we get towards the end of this project and I'm reflecting on how it went, yes, I made quite a few mistakes. However, that's just part of the learning process, and I'm proud of myself for even just attempting knitting a sweater in the round. And now I know for next time some of the things that I would change. I want to change the way that I did my increases at the beginning. I would make this sweater a little bit longer than I had, and just a few other small things. So Winnie-the-Pooh's sweater is really short, so I've reached the point where I'm ready to bind off the actual sweater part, and so we're going to bind off all of these stitches that are currently on the needles, and then we're going to pick up stitches around each armhole, and we're going to do this same stitch, the stockinette stitch, and build up a sleeve. And we want it to be a fairly decent sized sleeve, probably about this long-ish, and we're going to do that on both leg holes. And then last but not least, I'm going to build up just a little bit more of a collar. We're going to weave in all of our ends before we do the sleeves for our leg holes, just to make it a little bit easier on ourselves to keep track of where everything is. So we're going to go ahead and weave in the ends, and then after that we're going to create the sleeves for our sweater. Useful tip for picking up stitches around these leg holes is to use a crochet hook and then transfer the stitches from the crochet hook onto your knitting needle. If you liked this Knit With Me video, please give it a thumbs up so I know to make more of these videos in the future. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you're new to my channel and didn't know, I also have an Instagram and Patreon. It's in the link down below. We just finished the Winnie-the-Pooh sweater. It's so cute and little. I just love it. So let's go take a look and see what it looks like.